let it come in this young man. It did too. My pastor went forth from that place, laying in a home in Manila, the Philippines, listening to a radio. When a report came on, the entire country was being placed in turmoil because they had arrested a young 17-year-old girl by the name of Clarita Villanueva. They placed her in a prison cell. She had been a prostitute, and they had psychiatrists and psychologists and medical doctors and law enforcement officials that sat and watched her for 24 hours a day. She was stripped down to nothing more than a gown, one garment. And they placed her in that cell alone. Suddenly she would begin to scream. Bite marks would appear all over her back where she couldn't reach herself, and there was no one in the cell with her. They would bring that garment down, and her back would be bleeding, running red rivulets of blood down her back. Bitten by the manifestation of demon spirits. But I don't believe in that. Well, it didn't change anything. She would fight so uncontrollably. Later, many years later, my pastor opened up a little white envelope, and he pulled out some hair, about that long. He said, I just wanted you to see this. I said, what is it? He said, no one knows. It was in Clarita's hands when they opened them up. They've examined them at major universities, and they have found them to be of no known animal type and no known human type. My pastor walked in that room, laid a left hand on the right jaw, right hand on the left jaw, and shouted, come out. That little girl's eyes rolled back normal. She looked around that prison cell and said, where am I? The doctors examined her. She never had another manifestation. And the headline of the Manila newspaper the next day read, the devil is dead. My pastor said, that's not very good theology, but it was true. That manifestation was gone. I just need you to know what I'm infected with, sitting there where I can breathe on you. They said, what do you want? The city officials, he said, I want the main square in Manila. They said, what do you want it for? He said, I want to preach the gospel. 150,000 adults gave their lives to Jesus in the next 6 weeks, and the second largest church in all of Asia is there today, where some 70,000 people a Sunday come to church. I'm talking about something real. I'm talking about something that a man didn't start and a man couldn't stop. Somebody shout hallelujah. Standing right here, just before he went to heaven, my pastor wrapped his arms around me, and he prayed that same prayer. Let the spirit of faith that is in me come in to this young man. Now, I can tell you this without any prompting from me. People that come into this church that have possibly been in church all their lives, people that are around me for any number of days, and I ask them, what do you think is the distinguishing characteristic? What has happened in your life since you got here? I have never known faith like I know it now. Why? Why? It's that spirit. It's that